Aged cotija is nicknamed the Parmesan of Mexico and adds a wonderful salty finish to any dish. Unfortunately, you won't find cotija at just any corner store, but comparable flavors can be found in other foods. Keep watching to find out where. Feta is the Mediterranean cousin of cotija and can be used in place to nail down that tangy bite in your dish, especially considering it has a similar ability to crumble to perfection. Feta's salty aroma can transform any dish or just be enjoyed solo with some fine olive oil and crusty bread. It's fairly easy to find this cheese, making it a great substitute for cotija. When substituting feta for cotija, crumble the tasty cheese in the same fashion and sprinkle a generous amount onto your meal. Just keep in mind that cotija isn't typically packaged in brine, so when using feta, just be mindful of the liquid when adding the cheese. While this cheese is often compared to mozzarella as opposed to cotija, it has similar properties that make it a suitable choice to use instead of cotija. It takes on other flavors easily, which makes it a great addition to any dish craving dairy, and it's an acidic cheese that crumbles very well. Queso fresco is typically sprinkled over dishes such as tacos and salads, very similarly to cotija, and can be used in the same manner. Since it's a tad more acidic, you'll want to keep that in mind when adding acid-heavy ingredients to your dishes, such as lime or tomato, but the mild, creamier flavor of queso fresco shouldn't alter the meal you're preparing. The name says it all with Añejo, which translates to aged in Spanish. As the cheese matures, it morphs into a firmer block that allows for grating and shredding. Fun fact, Añejo is actually just an older version of queso fresco, so it has a similar flavor but with a harder consistency. If spotted at the market, Añejo may have a red hue to the rind, which can be attributed to seasoning. It is often rolled in paprika to give it a spicy kick. When choosing grated Añejo rather than cotija, the only thing to keep in mind is any added spice to the cheese. If you're putting together a spicy burrito, you may want to cut back on the cheese just a tad.
Oh, next step is to fold in the cheese.
What does that mean?
Considering cotija is part of the Parmesan family, it's fitting that Parmesan works as a successful stand-in for the Mexican cheese. The go-to Italian cheese is a staple in many households, often to tie together a pasta dish or fix up a quick chicken parmesan, which makes it not only a great alternative to cotija, but an easy one to source as well. The sharp and nutty hard cheese is the best substitute for aged cotija and can be swapped out in any recipe. The saltiness paired with the sparkling texture of Parmesan makes it a winning replacement, but one thing to keep in mind is that the more aged Parmesan is, the stronger the flavor will be. Keep tasting as you put your meal together to make sure the cheese flavors aren't overpowering, or even worse, lacking taste. Grana Padano is a crowd-pleasing Italian cow's milk cheese. Similar to Parmesan, this cheese has a crystal-like appearance and texture, but with a creamier finish and a mild bite. Originally made in northern Italy, Grana Padano is aged for at least 9 months and develops a one-of-a-kind flavor. This cotija cheese substitute works because of its matching hard texture. While this cheese is delicious, it has a sweeter hint to it and overall has a more subtle, low-key flavor, bound to still make a meal creamier and cheesier. Here is another cheese that graces us from Italy. Pecorino Romano is often outshined by its popular counterpart, Parmigiano Reggiano. The Italian cheese is one of the oldest that can be found on shelves today, so clearly the makers are doing something right, considering the demand remains high for cheese lovers after all of these years. It has a strong, nutty flavor that traditionally aids itself well in pasta recipes, but it can take the place of cotija cheese in a bind. The funky, tangy essence of the hard cheese resembles cotija enough to be used as an alternative in recipes, and you could use Pecorino Romano as a one-for-one swap for cotija. At a quick glance, one might assume Ricotta Salata is the fluffy, versatile cheese found in comforting lasagnas and stuffed shells, but that's just fresh ricotta. Ricotta Salata, on the other hand, is pressed to remove any liquid and then aged for a minimum of 3 months. This process provides us with a deliciously tangy cheese delivering a much more dense consistency, which of course makes it a great cotija replacement because of its rock-star grating abilities. The salty, crumbly cheese manages to combine the aroma of a light, fresh cheese with a hearty, dry texture, giving it a milky taste and would do wonders on a Mexican-inspired dish calling for cotija.
Here's what you do. You just fold it in.
Okay, I don't know how to fold broken cheese like that.
And I don't know how to be any clearer.
While it may be tough to find cotija at your corner store, chances are that finding the ingredients to make a dairy-free alternative will be much more of a breeze. With just almonds, olive juice, lemon, and a bit of salt, you can toss together a vegan version of cotija. After pulsing all the ingredients in a food processor for about 5 minutes, place the goodness in a cheesecloth, squeeze out any extra liquid, and then put the concoction in the fridge. After 24 hours, magic happens. You'll open the cheesecloth to find what looks like a perfect bundle of cheese. It should crumple easily at this point and be ready to complete your dish. If you're trying to limit your time in the kitchen in favor of some family relaxation time, or if just the idea of making vegan cheese from scratch makes you yawn, rest assured knowing that larger grocery stores have shelves lined with dairy-free and different plant-based alternatives to dairy products. Violife, just like Parmesan, can absolutely be used in place of cotija. The vegan brand's cheese resembles cotija's saltiness and crumbly consistency, making it a great choice in place of the Mexican cheese. If nuts aren't for you, it can be tough to find the perfect dairy-free option when you're seeking something creamy. Good news! You can make a vegan cotija featuring tofu, as opposed to the typical nut such as almond or cashew. Recreate that tangy punch of cotija with tofu, apple cider vinegar, nutritional yeast, and some salt. Using cheesecloth to strain all the liquid from the tofu will help nail down that ideal crumbly texture of cotija. Who knows? Cheese making might become your next go-to kitchen hobby. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more mashed videos about all your favorite food hacks are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.